here to make sure that you have got all the help and resources you need and that you get heard and understood. Welcome to this episode. We have Steve Judge.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, I am feeling really guilty. I know you really well, but I can't remember all your accolades and titles. So tell me.
Oh, that's fine.
What's all your medals and accomplishments that you've got?
Okay, so not talking about the rehabilitation where I had to grow my leg back, which is quite an accolade in itself, but going into the sporting world, 5 times British para triathlon champion. So para triathlon is swimming, cycling and running for disabled people. I'm disabled. So 5 times British champion, 1 time European champion and 2 times world champion.
I just want to do a little celebration for that.
Yay! And then I've moved into the speaking world, and accolades there are Speaker of the Year for Yorkshire 2 times, and finalist in Speaker Factor, and now author, which I think is an accolade in itself as well.
It is definitely, and that brings us on to sort of, I usually tell the viewers how we met, and that is how we met. And so I'm very grateful for Facebook, because you put a post in somebody else's group saying, does anybody know anybody that is a book writing coach or something, and a friend of mine tagged me, and that's how you and I got to meet, and we spent a lovely day with Karen in Loughborough, was it? Was that where you, because that's also where you trained, wasn't it, as well? Yeah. And we spent a day mapping out your book. And so have you got your book there to show people?
I have. I always have it in front of me because it's about the celebration, and I think a lot of people forget about that. And when you achieve something, don't just move on to the next thing. And I'm always about setting goals and working towards them. Just take time to celebrate. And this book took me ages to it was obviously my autobiography, so you could say it took all my life. But I'm so happy about it and so proud about it that I have it in front of me all the time, so that I see it and I go, oh, I did that, even subconsciously, I think that. So yeah, I'm very proud of this autobiography, available on Amazon if they're still delivering, because it's not, apparently this is not an essential item. I mean, I don't really agree with that, but there you go.
But we've come up with a strategy, haven't we, that? So anyone buying mine or Steve's books or any other bestseller's book on the books, please screenshot your purchase and send us a message, because if you're not going to get your book delivered to you, we'll send you PDF copies until your actual real one arrives from Amazon. So don't go without, have those resources available. But having read your book, having been on the journey with you and Karen as you unraveled the story, what really resonates with me and why I wanted you on here is that we are going through massive change now. But we've always been going through change. It's just unprecedented that we're all doing it at the same time. But I do believe that those that will get through it are people who already recognise they've been through change before and they survived and they've thrived through it. And so when I read your book, the one thing that resonated for me was that amazing that you're in hospital and you're already sort of like on day one, like, what can I do to help myself? Yeah. But there was definitely something in that you already had those tools, and you talk about scouting and your upbringing and the fact you were a runner and you always tracked your results, and your engineer mind wanted to know how it all works. So there's something about you that already had those resources in place. When I was going to swear then, when poo hit the fan, you already had those resources. And I think really what I wanted to get you to share with us today is what is it that, tell us about that journey, tell us a little bit about the accident, and what were the strategies that you put in place to get yourself from being told you're never going to walk again to triathlon. I mean, it's just phenomenal, because if you can do that, we can all get over the fact that we can't go out as freely as we'd like to for a short period of time. Because it took you how long?
It took me probably 3 years, but maybe 1.5 years standing again and walking again from the accident. But then onwards, maybe another 3 years after that till I started doing sports, 2009. So then 7 years to get into an elite level, going from my accident being in hospital to elite level, 7 years. Not that wasn't my goal though. And I think the important thing is, I believe that everybody's got that capability of achieving what they really want, their dream, their opportunity, their desire, their love. I would call it your goal. What's your goal? What's that thing that you really want? I believe everybody's got the capability of achieving that. So you first of all got to find out what that thing is. And if we go back to I'll just brief on my story. So I had a car accident in 2002, got both my legs wiped out. They were crushed. The surgeons managed to repair them. And then it was my responsibility to go to the rehabilitation, the physio, to grow my leg back by 4 inches, to learn how to stand again, to learn how to walk again. All of those things took me a year and a half, and I'm a very impatient person, but that's what pushed me through. My desire, my goal at that time was, you know, apart from getting out of hospital and getting back to normal, I wanted to stand again. I wanted to walk again. I didn't want people to ask me, how are you today, and give me pity or anything. I just wanted to blend into society. That was my goal. That was my passion, I guess. So because of that, I was always thinking about what I could do rather than what I couldn't do. And when I was thinking about what I could do, I was thinking, what more can I do? What more can I do? What more can I do? I was always asking the physio for more exercises. At one stage, I was doing 21 different exercises, and I was still asking for more exercises because this is what I really wanted. And I think anybody who's suffered with health, all they want to do is get better. They want to be where they were at the beginning. You know, they want to be healthy again. You take health for granted. So when it's taken away from you, you just want it back. And I really wanted that. So I think that's where the skills came out of me. Yeah, I used these skills in scouting when I was a little boy, you know, having a goal and working towards it. But nothing as such as when you have such a big adversity that hits you right in the face, you know, getting your legs crushed, being told that you may never walk again. I think it's like a red rag to a bull for me. And so I was like angry about it. And I think anger is a good thing as long as you can use it, turn it into passion. Yeah. So doing all of that helped me to get through that stage. Now, going on to my journey again, becoming an elite athlete, I didn't just wake up one morning and think, this is what I want to do. What I thought was, you know, just bit by bit, I was thinking about what I could do rather than what I couldn't do. Started swimming a bit, started cycling a bit. I realized there's a thing called a para triathlon, started running after 7.5 years. It was really difficult. But then I now had a goal. I think I still had this anger inside me about that damn accident had slowed me down, had dragged me down, had held me down with chains. And now this is my chance to push through that and prove to myself, the world, I don't know, prove to somebody that I could do this. And so when I achieved British champion, I set more goals, became European champion, set more goals, and eventually became world champion in a nutshell. So again, but using the same skills, having that vision of what I really wanted, that passion, benchmarking, you said, I think it's a massive thing. The first thing you've got to do, if you want to achieve something, write down where you are now. If you want to earn more money, what's your bank account like now? You want to lose weight, how much do you weigh now? You want to, you know, lift weights, then how much can you lift now? All of these things, benchmark it today, now, and then see how you progress. Then obviously after that, you need to get sensible about it. You need a plan in place, but you need to take action. And a lot of people, they struggle to do the action thing. The plan might be to ask for help. That might start with Google. It might go further than that. It might be getting a coach, whatever. But using all of that, I work towards my goal. Now in my business, as a speaker, a motivational speaker, I'm doing the same. My vision is very much to give back, to help other people to realize what their dream is, their vision is, their goal, as I would call it, but then giving them the inspirational, the motivation and the tools for them to actually work towards that. Because it kind of breaks my heart when people say, when I say, how are you? And they go, yeah, you know, I'm okay. And I just think, okay, you're just okay. And that's such a shame because they should be amazing. They should be awesome. They should be fantastic. They should be right up here because surely that's what life is all about. So if I can do something to help them to achieve that, then that's what I want to do. So this brings us to here and now. These are all the things that I'm trying to do to do that, whether that's speaking, whether that's writing my autobiography to get everything out, or whether it's to do workshops where I can actually give them the tools and they can actually go away knowing what they've got to do. But all of those things come from the same philosophy as rehabilitation, elite athlete, mentor, coach, speaker. So yeah, it goes in the package.
And you're like many of us, you've just suddenly had your live event. So it's a public speaking in front of very large audiences, your normal gig. So obviously that's all crashed down. So we're you're going through that process again now. And I know that one of the things you want to do is to find out from the viewers, what can you help them with most, right? What's their most burning challenge? What do they feel for the next couple of weeks and months? What do they need most? Now, you mentioned 4 things when we spoke earlier. I can't speak now. So there's wellness, mental health, resilience, and controlling fear.
Yeah.
So I will put those in our post below. But for those watching the video, please let Steve know which of those are you drawn to want to know more about. And what we both want you to know is that it is about having help, because you've always had a really, really supportive family, haven't you, Steve? Because they're, you know, we met them at the book launch. You know, we're part of the peer review team, as we're all copied into all the emails. They're all part of that journey with you. And knowing the book, you hear of them sort of cheerleading and being with you at the races and encouraging. And if they can't be there, they're on the phone. And sometimes people don't have that kind of network, do they? Whether it's because that's just their own families having their own problems and they just haven't got the capacity to resource or support in that way, or because the individual doesn't like to put burden on people, doesn't like to tell people that they're struggling. So that's my map of the world. That's my experience. Is some people have already got a really good support network and they can tap into it, and other people maybe have it but don't use it, or simply don't have it currently right now. They've tried asking. So we want to let them know about your event, so that people know that there's more help out there and they don't have to struggle on their own. So tell me a little bit more about these workshops online, if they were just the way you'd like them to be. And I know this is all very new for you, because they weren't how you'd like them to be, but how they're going to be right now. What sort of things can people expect from them?
Yeah, and you're right. You know, as an event speaker, to have that taken away from me in the events industry, you kind of think, well, what can I do now? And you first of all, I think this happens when anybody goes through adversity. Something bad is you panic or you sulk, or you just shut off. And that's what I do. And I panicked. And I was like, and I sulked for a while, because I don't want to do online workshops. Can we just get that clear? But I have to. I want to be on the stage. I want to be in front of people. I can't do that. And so you have to go through that mindset of change. I've come out the other side, and I've now got this vision of me doing online workshops. And actually, I'm really excited. So my philosophy has changed. My mindset has changed. I really want to help people, and this is how I can do it. There's a lot of people struggling out there. And if they're not struggling now, then they're pretty much going to be struggling going forward, because they're stuck at home with certain people that they might find hard to get on with. They're struggling with the change, with the money income, or just the wellness, the community. So let me just go through them very briefly. Wellness is very much about looking after yourself. I learned this when I was an elite athlete, getting to the start line. Some of my friends were injured. They weren't listening to their bodies. They weren't looking after themselves. At home, you can get into some very bad routines, staying up late at night, watching telly, getting up late in the morning. And you know, the more you do that, it's very hard to get out of a bad routine. So keep making sure you get into a good routine, and again, thinking about what that means to you. How do you see yourself? What's the perfect scenario of you? For me, you know, it might be getting out of bed and doing some yoga and listening to classical music, having a shake or something, a really healthy one, and then doing my work and getting lots of clients and having this vision. And I'm working towards that. I can't do all of that yet, but I'm working towards that. So wellness is very important, getting fresh air, sunshine, etc. Mental health is very important. I went through a lot of mental health challenges through my journey, and to share that. And also, can I just say that I came out of the mental health as well. So what I've got is a successful story. So what I suffered with and how I dealt with it and how I moved on. And that's what I want to share with you. I can't tell people what to do, absolutely not. But I can share my experiences, and I can say what worked for me. And this is what I do with all of these things, is I pretty much talk about me. So I don't like to tell people what to do. I just talk about me. If they like it, great, they can follow or whatever, but it's up to them. But mental health is, you know, very important. Using resilience. So resilience, I seem to be really good at resilience and using that to my advantage, but I don't know why. And a lot of these things, I don't know why I do things. I don't know why I'm good at them. I'm actually reading this book called Bounce Back. I don't know if you've heard of that. How to fail fast and be resilient at work. So this goes into the nitty gritty of what resilience is all about and why it works. It's a bit heavy for me, to be honest. I'm a very simple, it's got no pictures in it at all. It's got a few diagrams. So I struggle with it, but I want to learn why I'm good at resilience, and if I can pass that message on to other people, that's what I'm doing. And then controlling your fear. Fear is something we all have. And this is one of the videos that you saw with me talking, is that I have fear, and I've started doing some Facebook Lives. The main reason I'm doing Facebook Lives in the morning around 7 o'clock is to help other people. Do I want to do them? I don't know, because I have fear. It's quite scary going live on a video. You don't know who's going to be watching, or more importantly, who's not going to be watching. It might be a blank audience. The comments inside, something might go wrong. People might comment saying, "Oh, you look a bit rough this morning." I don't know, but you have that fear. But you've got to remember why you're doing it in the first place. And why I'm doing it is to help other people. There's a lot of people struggling out there, so I want to be open and help them and do that. Somebody had asked me a question about using Zoom. They said, "Oh, what I want to do, use Zoom, I want to meet other people, but I'm a little bit scared about how to use it." And I'm saying, well, just get on with it. Start using it today. Learn out what you're not good at, and then work on that. The sooner you start and take action and do something, the better. So those are the 4 areas that I'm probably going to be concentrating on. And if the people watching this video, they can give them some input as to which one they think is priority, that would be great.
Fabulous. And I'm just going to pick up on just get on with it, because those who are my clients will know that anyone that says just, I think it's like a swear word, because it's like, just because it's easy for you doesn't mean it's easy for somebody else. But what I do know is that having helped lots of people to do more of what they love and to delegate and ask for help and ditch the behaviors and the thoughts that aren't helping them, is that there's a certain amount that's inside us. I see it like a bit like a bridge. And sometimes we need somebody on the other side going, it's over here, for us to have that thing to work towards. So people like yourself who are motivational speakers who give us the option and say, you can do this, you can do this. That can give us, for people who can't work out what they want, it can give people that first step, that first thing to work towards. And so I want to put it out there. If you're hearing what Steve's saying, you go, yeah, I want to do it, then come and listen to him more, find out what and how he does it. If you're really still hearing it and you can't bridge the gap, then please come and talk to me. Because one thing that you said you don't know how you do resilience, is just to put it out there, Steve, that maybe you and I could do another interview and I could actually coach you in the way that I coach to find out how you do resilience. Resilience for you is like what and where does it come from? Yeah. Because I believe that if you can do it through the modeling process, and this is pretty much what my groups are about, we'll put a subject in the middle and then all of us will go, well, how do you do resilience? What's resilience for you and what's resilience for somebody else? And I think it'd be really good to get a few people on actually and do a resilience call. Okay. What you'll get from it is you'll understand your own model, but you'll also understand others. And hopefully by us sharing our resilience models, it will help other people to be able to we've got a lot of wisdom inside of us, all of us have. And sometimes we need to hear other people's ideas to even connect it with ourselves. And other times we need someone to listen to access what we've already got inside there. So I'll grab you after the interview, because I said I was going to keep this to 20 minutes. No. For those of you that would like to know more about resilience, also copy down below. Yeah. And if we how many votes do you think we need, Steve, to actually bother to put the time in, or are we just going to do it because we love it anyway?
Yeah, I'll probably do it. Yeah, I'd do it with like 5, it'd be just nice to get the ball rolling. I'm really fascinated to find out myself. So if anybody wants to join, I think that'd be really good. So yeah, just minimum number. But yeah, comment below and tell us what you want. So tell us if we can help you.
Yeah. So there's 2 calls of action now. One is, if Steve's going to put a workshops on under wellness, mental health, resilience, or controlling fear, which would you be most interested in? And secondly, would you want to come on a call with Steve and I and do a modelling session where we actually work out how we get our resilience?
Yeah.
And we'll find out those questions, the answer to those questions. And once we've got the response and we've got the feedback, we can take some action. Now, you're impatient bit now. I'm like, oh, if they don't respond, I want to do it anyway. So I might have to take some other action to make sure I go and find 5 people, and we'll do it anyway, because
well, now we've got it going, I can start promoting it as well, putting it on my social media. We might get hundreds, who knows?
Yeah. Well, and you know what, this is a really good example of the things I want to put out for free, because resilience through this time is going to be so important.
Yeah.
But helping people understand how having a helpful and honest conversation can help you develop those kinds of resources from within yourself and around you. Thank you for joining this episode, and that will help us through this difficult time at the moment.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Steve.